All right, yo, welcome back. So I've hit just about 300. I don't even want to. Oh man, I've been playing this game way too much. I had a substantial amount of hours, so I don't think I can say I'm like baby Tenno anymore. You know, like more like adolescent Tenno, if you will. And I feel like I've learned a lot. Definitely watched a bunch of videos, but one thing, well, not one thing. How do I go about this? You know, I think I'm going to make a series. There'll probably be like shorter videos, but it's basically going to be just like all the different things I think new players should kind of focus on and work on. I'm probably going to name it like Beginner's Guide from a Beginner. Sounds pretty, you know, marketed pretty well. Like, you know, you can't hold me too accountable because again, like I'm just a beginner, so like please don't, you know. Yeah, some things that I noticed that were super like impactful to my gameplay, things that were like really important to my progression. And yeah, so today I think I'm gonna go over let's call it mid game to late game, which is technically early game. Early game in terms of account progression, but early game Plat investment is going to be the first thing I talk about today. And I think first things first, as a new Warframe player, is you gotta buy yourself a nice skin.
I don't know what this is, but it's kind of hot.
So that you want to play the game. Okay? That's it. That's what you spend your Plat on. Thank you for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video. Later. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna talk about mods. So, mods, I think, are probably gonna be something that like boost your account by like substantial amounts. And definitely like there are mods to get over other ones, like just in terms of like versatility, how many builds you could use it on, how many characters, or sorry, how many frames, how many different play styles within one frame even, and that'll kind of tell you like which one is the most important. So number one, I think tied for number one, prime continuity and primed flow. I know I'm not using primed flow here, but trust me, this one singular mod is literally on every other single Warframe I have, except for Wisp, because like she's goated and she doesn't need it. All right, like it's just that's it. But prime continuity and primed flow, 100% super big purchases. I know, especially as a new player, like it's 1,000,000 credits each to trade. Just get it. Just get it. Regular flow is cool at 100 energy max, and it also like doesn't cost too much to level this up. Even like as early game, like five ranks is, I mean, look at 5 ranks is only like 900 endo and like 44k credits, but eventually you're going to want to invest your endo and your credits towards your Plat, or not towards your Plat, towards your mods. And when you do, prime flow, prime continuity, probably the 2 most used mods right now. Okay, so definitely pick these up. And I'll be honest with you, like I picked myself up at rank 0 because especially when you're early game, you pick up a max mod, like what are you, there's not too much you're going to be able to do with it in terms of like build, because you're going to be low on forma, which means you're going to be struggling to fit all of this in. There's nothing wrong with like you guys can see it here, like my build is relatively incomplete because these things aren't leveled, but like partially because I don't have an Umbra forma, but also partially because like I don't have the credits to level these up, right? And like I still get a lot of utility, a lot of high level gameplay out of it. Pick your mods up at rank 0, because getting it to like rank 5, rank 6, even rank 7, in terms of like cost to credits and endo, it's relatively cheap. Like it's honestly like that amount kind of comes quick, right? And what you can end up doing is you can slot in the mods for your build that you need, have your build function, but just function at a lower level. You know what I mean? If you like had these two maxed out and I only had 1 or 2 format at the time, I would be spending like 24 hours playing not even my build, just a like a stat boosted Warframe basically, right? But you put your mods in at lower levels or lower ranks, and then you have a functioning build, you have synergy, you have playstyle, you have an idea, which is I think most important, on what you want for your build and what you want for Warframe. Because at this point, I guess this is tip number 2, don't look up at any tier lists. It's not really worth it. If you want, you could look up Warframe's stats page, and they tell you like who was the most played Warframe last year, most used weapons, stuff like that. That's pretty useful. You can see what was popular, but the tier lists themselves don't really matter, because at this point in the game, with like such mature in the sense of like the game's been out for a while and the devs have done a lot to kind of really add to it and allow for like super customized stuff, like a mature build design, if you will. Almost any Warframe works in like high-end game, and weapons maybe not so much, but honestly, you got the mods. I want to say like almost every melee works because of melee influence, and that's a pretty cheap pickup now. This is where it gets kind of boring. I would get either adaptation or rolling guard here, but honestly, you can get adaptation for like 5 plat. It's a pretty like common drop. I feel like I've gotten a bunch of them. But you can also get this from, I believe, your arbitration honors. Rolling guard's also 5 plat. These are cheap purchases, super cheap. Get one of them, get both of them at rank 0, and use them a little bit. And wait, sorry, rolling guard, not retribution. Use them a little bit. See which playstyle you like more. Rolling guard has its place for sure, especially like once you get to like Hulvania and it's just a bunch of like doorways with like fart juice. It'll wreck your HP, honestly. Like it's terrible. I hate it. That's why I play Wisp, because the healing low key like kind of breaks that. Adaptation is also nice, just like if you like running like a health build or like a shield heavy build, like it's just like generic damage resistance basically. But I would say pick both of them up, level them up equally to like rank 5 or whatever, use it, see which one you like more, and then commit to that one. Auras. I want to say the safest one and most used one is probably Brief Respite. And then from there, Corrosive Projection would be like, I think, your next best bet. Growing Power is great, and it's used in like an immense amount of builds. And right now, I find like everything is kind of about status chance. Utilizing status and applying status is definitely like a really common thing to do. But if you guys read this, it says it's for you and your squad, or not you and your squad including you. If you're doing like co-op content, I don't think you'll ever hop into a game where one person isn't running this. So technically, like, you'll always get it, so don't worry about it too much. The reason I say that is because this is a pretty expensive mod. It's more universal, I would say, than Growing Power, because there are some characters that you just don't build strength on, but there aren't any characters that don't want 18% less armor. You know what I mean? So Brief Respite, Corrosive Projection would be my 2 to get. Let me see how much Brief Respite is. Brief Respite should also be relatively cheap. Yeah, Brief Respite right here, I'm seeing it for 18. I think you could get it for 15, maybe even 10 if someone's nice. Don't haggle too hard, okay? Don't bother people just to haggle them for like 10 minutes. Just, you know, like, don't do it. It's not nice, it's not fun, okay? But you can get things for cheaper. I sound so Asian. I'm Asian, by the way, so like don't come at me for saying that. Yeah, so for the auras, Brief Respite, and corrosive rejection 100% would be my go-tos. And then for the Exilus slots, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. I'll be honest with you guys, Thief's Wit is this is a weird take. Thief's Wit will be fine for you for a long time, because just use it, pay attention to your minimap. I'll tell you right now, the one thing that I was struggling for most, and I still am struggling to at this point, like 300 hours in, I don't have enough Iatan stars. I'm farming arbitrations, so I have so many sculptures, but I don't have the stars to fit them in. So use the chest. Don't like spend 45 minutes in every mission, but if you see like a pack of chests to your left or something, like go there, get more materials. You're gonna need it. Even like the random like alloys and the plastids, trust me, you're gonna need it, and you're gonna need it sorry, you're gonna need it in like the hundreds of thousands. Okay, so Thief's Wit, super usable. If you wanted to get one, get Power Drift. It's a little bit of strength, which is nice for most builds, and there's 30% chance to resist knockdown. 15 plats kind of a lot for, like, to be honest, a very small gain, but like small Q well as well. So if you value that, 100% just go for it. You probably notice I have not talked about any of the corrupted mods. That is because that's a good way for you to save Plat. It's a good way for you to make Plat. Something you could do yourself, something that's relatively easy. I can do like a small early game Plat making video, but I'm sure there's a bunch. Just look up like Corrupted Vault guide or whatever. Farm these yourselves, because like honestly, yes, it will take time, and if RNG isn't on your side, it could take an immense amount of time, like probably a whole day to farm all the mods that you need. However, thing is, a lot of people run that mission, so you don't even need to have all those keys yourself. Just be useful, try to find the door for people so that the people that are running it, they can just have like a faster turnaround on it. But when you're farming all of these, like, you're gonna have duplicates of stuff. You know, you have like a couple blind rages, and like you say you get like 2 or 3 of these, that could honestly be like 30 plat right there. You have some extra transient fortitudes. These are pretty expensive too. This could be like an extra 30 plat if you have 2 extra. There's a bunch of corrupted mods that are great. Catalyzing Shields is also a corrupted mod as well, I believe, right? I think this is where I got that from. And this one's alone sells for like 25. Yeah, 25 is like the base price. So definitely farm your corrupted mods yourself. It's way more worth it. You can also make plat out of it. But best early game investments: Prime Flow, Prime Continuity at rank 0, Adaptation and Rolling Guard at rank 0. Don't spend a lot on these. And then aura mods, I would say Corrosive Projection would be my first go-to, and then Brief Respite, because Brief Respite is used in shield gating, which is like a different playstyle and requires a few other mods that aren't too universal. They could 100% be, no, not universal, because not all frames are like caster frames or like spamming frames, right? So Corrosive Rejection would be my big recommendation here. And then for the Exilus, yeah, just use Thief. If you really want one, I'd say Power Drift is good. And that's about it. These aura mods also come from the Nightwave or the Battle Pass, so that's why I'm saying like just get one, and eventually you'll get the other ones. Growing Power, wait till later. Very small gain. Almost no QOL improvements unless you're running like very specific builds that run tight margins on the numbers. Yeah, that would be my recommendation for mod investment for early game players and how to spend your plat. You'll see like an immense amount of growth. You'll have a lot more versatility, and then that's about it. Like, don't even worry about like these Archon mods. Like, just run stretch here. This is just like, this doesn't even matter, you know? Yeah, most of the builds, Prime Flow, Prime Continuity. And then I'll do a quick little thing for Arcanes. I think depending on when I make this video, because Arcane pricing goes up and down a little bit, Arcane Energize is mega expensive. Don't even worry about it. If you see a build that has it, like if it's a good build, a good guide, they should offer substitutions. If not, that person's just kind of lazy, I'm sorry, but because that's just, it's not a super accessible item. Okay, what I would say, if you really want to get a rank 5 Arcane, which is fair because it does really help gameplay quite a bit, most use would be like Molt Augmented, because this is just like raw, not raw, this is just like, I think it's just at the end of the math additive strength percentage, and you can get 250 kills like just by playing any mission that lasts longer than 10 minutes. Molt Augmented, also relatively cheap, to be honest. Maxed out, just like 50 plat. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for how universal it is and quite impactful it is as well. And then for a secondary Arcane, I wouldn't worry too much about it, to be honest, because typically the secondary Arcane is something build related. So as an early game player, you won't really have like one build that you want to fully invest in. If you do, that's great, and like 100% go for it. But Molt Augmented would be my most recommended Arcane there. It's just good utility, good strength. That's about it. Don't worry about a second one. Early game plat, this is what I would spend it on. Thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you in the next guide video. Later.